So cake number 3 coming up. I just had to do a bit of a tidy up, clean up, prep, da. So here we are, cake number 3. This is going to me. I've got flour everywhere. This is going out for dinner tonight. So we've got friends who very kindly invited us over. They haven't got a kitchen at the moment, so it's a barbecue, and I'm taking dessert. So apple crumble cake is what I'm making. So let me just go on. So why I was there was I have to chop 400 grams of apples. And of course, I've got this awesome gadget here, the cutter. So that's what I'm going to use to chop. So I have weighed my apples. I'm going to actually cancel the recipe. Yep. And I'm going to set this up. So your drive shaft goes over the blades. You'll see one way is much better than the other way. So it's the correct way. The bowl sits in over here so that you actually don't have, you're not getting the bowl dirty, the actual Thermomix bowl dirty. All right. So then I want to slice. So everybody does this differently. It was interesting. I was doing something with some friends, other Thermi people last weekend, and they just put this straight on there. I put it up into here, but you can do it whatever way you like. Anyway, this side is sliced and the other side is great. It's a bit hard to see. So I want it sliced. So this goes uppermost. And on the TM6, so on a TM5, it's speed 4. And if you want a thin slice, it's reverse. If you want a thick slice, it is normal. On the TM6, we have a mode. Here we go, slicing. All right, so I've got my feeder thing up there. I've got my apples cut up. I'm going to drop them down here and I'm going to do a thick slice. I'm going to keep feeding them in. Okay, 400 grams. And you know what? I always want to time that. I should have got someone to time it because it is so quick and easy. 400 grams of apples sliced, all right? It was a little bit over. I'm just going to, sometimes you get a few little bits that are left on the side here, didn't quite go through. That's at the end, probably because my bowl was pretty full. And you get some little bits in here. So I'm going to just put all those out because we might as well use those. All right, so that's the cutter. Most important thing, take the drive shaft out, okay? It does not like being chopped up. Okay, so what it wants me to do is actually put that into, I'm putting into here because I've got lemon juice. And I do remember that lemon juice in metal doesn't always end up well. So let's go out of there. Let's go into my wick. We're doing the apple crumble cake. I'm actually going to shoot down through here and get this bit ready. So place the bowl on top, your 400 grams of eating apples there in, okay. 20 grams of lemon juice. So I'm just going to put my bowl on top. I do know I weighed my lemon juice and that was 20 grams. Okay. And then I need a spoon because I need, actually going to use this brown sugar. So Demerara sugar is a, it's an English sugar. It's a sort of brownie sugar. Use a bit of this. By the way, the recipe does say eating apples, but I've chosen to use Granny Smith's. There we go. And then what it wants me to do is just stir the apples until they're coated, all right? So just going to give them, I mean, it's not very easy when there's so many in here, but it's just so the apples do get a little bit of sugar on them because they are going to be baked in the middle of the cake. Okay, so some are a little bit sugarier than the others, but there we are, we get the gist. All right, so that was in the middle of the cake. So now I'm going to go backwards. I'm actually going to a recipe detail and I'm going to start at the beginning. Preheat up into 180. Well, I've got two other cakes in there, one at 160 and one at 170. So I've got to wait for those to finish first. Line the spring. I've done the spring form tin. All right, 75 grams of blanched almonds. But anyway, that's all right. I don't have blanched. I've just got normal almonds. They can go in. And pop my lid on. 10 seconds, speed 10. Just chopping those up. Oh. 75 grams of plain flour. Oh, sorry, I should show you. They're my milled almonds. Okay. Flour's going in. I did weigh that before, so that's all good. And it asks for the butter to be chilled. So I've just pulled that literally out of the fridge. Okay. Popping the lid on. And we're going to turbo 3 times. Asking me to scrape down the sides. This. Okay. 50 grams of demerara sugar. No, I've got that spoon next. So I'm going to do half of that and half raw. Three times. Transfer to the crumble to a small bowl and set aside. So here we go. Oh, that is a small bowl. That is a lot of crumble. Thank you, David. Yeah, so there's our crumble to go on the top later. Then we've got the apple business, which we've done already. So I can also go into here, recipe detail, come down, apple layer, cake layer. All right. So 100 grams of granulated sugar. Now I do normally cut down a little bit. So a lot of stuff around here. I'm going to go 80. 84. 100 grams of unsalted butter. Whoops. Whoops, come on. There we go. 2 large eggs here. Put my lid on. 30 seconds speed 4. Preview. Next is some self-raising flour. So I'm going to scrape down the sides. Then we've got sugar, butter and eggs in there. Here we go. Scrape that down. $100 grams of XR flour. So I'm gluten-free. My friend who we're having dinner with tonight is celiac, so. Okay. 20 seconds on speed 4. transfer to the prepared tin. So this is the bottom, okay, of the cake, the apple crumble cake. So this, again, very fine flour. So I'm just going to break down the sides. Gets pushed up a bit, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a mix in there. You can put it on and just mix it up again if you want it, but that's all right. So as I said, this is the base of the cake, the apple crumble cake. So your tin lines, grease around the edges. This is going in the bottom. Okay. Again, I've got a bit around the blades, so you should all know by now. We're going to turbo. Back into our recipe so that we can open up the lid. Beautiful clean blades, okay. And we're just going to push down everything down to the bottom. Scrape out in a clockwise direction, get as much of this mixture out as I can. Okay. So some people don't like the Thermomix spatula. I have to say I use it most of the time. One of the things is it's contoured to the wall of the bowl. So when I'm scraping out, it's actually touching the whole thing. Whereas if you had a straight one, it wouldn't quite do that. All right, let's use this spoon. And I guess, you know, if you wanted to, you could put a bit of other flavourings in there. You could put a little bit of vanilla if you wanted, or something like that. But anyway, we're just following the recipe today. Could put cinnamon on the apples. Actually, cinnamon on the apples would be pretty nice, wouldn't it? Okay. All right, so there's the bottom of our cake, which is really good. Cover with the apples. We'll spread those out. Okay. Sprinkle crumble topping over the apples. So that's going over the top here. So some of it's going to actually go down those little holes as well. And followed by flaked almonds for decoration. Now, I cannot remember how many flaked almonds, so I'm going to go into the recipe. 40 grams, okay. So I haven't weighed out my almonds, so I'm going to pop the cake tin on top. I'm going to get my scales up, and I've got my flaked almonds here. Oops, scales. And I'm going to 40 grams is quite a lot, obviously. There we go. So that's that. Now I'll just spread them out a little bit. We've got some on all over the top there. Wow. I've made this before, it's just delicious. All right. Bake 45 to 50 minutes, 180 degrees. Now I'm going to see what my other cakes, that one's up for 8 minutes. So 45. So I'm going to wait, but I will get that in the oven shortly for 45 to 50 minutes. 50 minutes. Brain. That's all right. Got time to cook it before I go out. All right. So that will go in the oven when I've got one of my cakes out, and I can turn the oven up to 180. And I'm going to enjoy it with a bit of cream. Yeah.